Welcome, John. It's wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you.
Just a quick introduction. I'll introduce myself, and it'd be great if you could give us a quick intro as well. Oh, there's already a few people that have joined us, so I'm going to have a look in a second and see who that is. And actually, maybe you could write me a comment in the comments box, and then I'll know we can give you a little. Me and John can give you a little wave for coming to support us today. So I'm Sarah from the SuperGroup Pro. We're an exclusive music industry club, and we primarily concentrate on looking for opportunities and supporting each other as a group. So if you're interested, you can always message me to find out more. And John, I'd love it if you could introduce yourself.
I'm John Rasmussen from Denmark. Thanks for having me. Um, I've been making music since I was playing music since I was 10. Started out on the drums
Wow.
and got interested in keyboards and drum machines and computers. And I've been playing live. I've been playing live since I was like 15 and until like 6 years ago, 7 years ago maybe. In cover bands, different cover bands, mostly in Denmark, but also a bit in Greenland and a single
In
job in Czech.
Greenland.
Yeah, Tula base.
Wow.
We went there 14 days. It was yeah, it was great. Long
I've never
trip.
met anyone that's been to Greenland. So yeah, that's quite interesting. And how was the climate? Did it affect any of your instruments?
No, no, not at all. It was during the summer, so it was daylight all day and night.
Oh, God, that's so
So
interesting.
that was the most crazy part of it, I think.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
since it was an American airbase, it was, you know, we were driving around just to go short trips, and yeah, it was kind of fun. Yeah, we didn't get to go
Wow.
out in the field somewhere, but that's okay. It was a great experience, really.
So tell me what actually before, because the main reason we're here today is to find out about your new release, which I'll come on to. But I'm intrigued to find out more about kind of where your interest in music actually came from. Was it something that it was just a natural thing, or did you have music in your family? How did you start?
Well, I started out on drums when I was 10. I borrowed my big brother's drum kit when he was in school and I wasn't. And we had like two pianos, and my father played. And then yeah, I got interested in like that, I think.
Oh, and at school, were you given the opportunity to then learn musical instruments?
Yes, we were. And I had a band with, let's see, three or four other guys from my class and the class next to us. So, and I'm still doing music with one of those people.
Wow, that's so great. I think one of the great things about music is that you seem to make these lifelong friends. That some of the people I was with in musical theatre years ago, it really feels that you had a special bond. Really, really close. It's just a bit indescribable sometimes. Those relationships that you have, which
Yeah,
is it's so great, isn't it? Like I really genuinely I feel that as well in our group. There's people that have just made such great relationships that I know before we came on, you just had a song playing in the background
yeah.
about, but I was like, wow.
It's a co-writing project I have with one of the SuperGroup Pros guys. But getting back to the friendship, it's like when you go out and play gigs, you're automatically a lot together. So you learn each person to know in different ways, so different situations. So I think that's why you get to keep those people
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
And I always have the example with my son. He doesn't play music as much as I have done, but he has a football team that he has been with since he was starting out as 5 year old, and he still sees a lot of those
That's so
people. So
nice.
it's kind of the same, but when you get together around a project, or
Yeah.
sports or music or anything, you get to know each other very well.
I think as well that there's a lot of people I've come across who are on this journey alone for many different reasons. Either, they're a pure songwriter, or they're an artist who, they don't have a team, or you're in the studio as a producer. And I think that's one of the skills about this as well, is learning to have, or being able to have, different people around you to be able to create. And because I've noticed with you, John, that I think you really like collaborating.
Yes, I do, but uh, yeah, a lot of years after I stopped playing in bands, I've been on my own doing my
Yeah.
projects. Um, so when I did my first album in 2011, it was like a kind of test to myself. Which part of the project is the best for me? And I've written the songs myself. I recorded them. I mixed them. Did the graphics, videos. Because I was kind of curious of which part did I do best, but I'm still not really sure about what I'm best at. So I keep going, doing the things I do mostly alone, but I have projects with other people, yes. But
So how
I'm
do
not
you
afraid of doing it alone.
yeah, but how do you describe yourself? Because um I know this track that you've got out today is really important to you for a number of different reasons, but how do you describe yourself, or do you not like to put yourself in a box?
No,
Because you're wearing many hats.
yes, I actually do. Um, I don't know. I had a platinum year at the Songwriting Academy,
Yeah.
and that was the question I usually took up with the mentors. What should I do? And maybe I'm mostly a producer, but I like writing songs. I like recording songs. I like yeah. So it's still a mystery to me. Um, but I like all parts. So I'll do whatever it takes for me to finish a project.
And I think that's a really great trait that, if you're on this musical journey, as you're developing, you can be different things. I know somebody recently who really felt that she just didn't want to be a songwriter. She actually wanted to come out as the artist, and she's managing to do that. So I think as well, it can very much depend on where you're at. And
But
I remember,
that's really great.
yeah,
That's really
yeah,
great
yeah, yeah,
when you
really great.
accept that you are something in particular. But it can be a bit messy in my head sometimes. You know, letting other people inside as well. It can be
Yeah.
not a problem, but it can be a struggle sometimes.
And what do you think the struggle comes from? Is it more the dynamic of working with other people, or is it more you can be in a place at a certain time where it just doesn't feel right to collaborate, for example?
No, I think it's more like how big an idea is it that I have? How much influence do I want to have on the project? Do I need to have on a project?
Yeah.
And which parts do I see? Which part can I get other people to develop it or make it better?
Yeah.
So it also depends on how much I believe in my own project or my own idea. Really. So
And I think that's also the thing, isn't it? When you know when to bring people in, because somebody else might be better at doing a certain thing than I am, for example. So, and I think that's the real skill of it. What I really noticed about you, John, was when you first joined us, was that you were already very, very developed in, you as a brand and what you were doing, and the stuff you're putting out there. And so, can you tell me a bit about that part, how it came to be with the website and Dusty Jones and your other projects?
yeah, originally in 2011, I released my first album, Plus Minus, and it was kind of I've been doing music many years ago, since many years ago, and suddenly I was facing a divorce, and suddenly you have something to write about, which I think I didn't have before. So it was in the process during that divorce that it was like I taught myself to get through it by writing, and not writing songs, not just writing, page up and page down, and as I got through it, somehow it ended out in lyrics. So it kind
Wow.
of the scribbling just formed into lyrics, and the lyrics formed into music in my head. So that was kind of the way I got started doing my first album. Um, and since then, it has been like uh, getting an idea, writing a
Yeah.
lyric, getting an idea, a musical idea in my head, combining those, and I've been doing that up until around the COVID, the lockdown period, and then I was like not alone at home, but I had my girlfriend, but there was really there was a lot of time I need to do something, and I here on Facebook it's like when you congratulate someone on their birthday or everything, you can put in a picture and say happy birthday. But I discovered that you could put some music to that picture as well, and I ended up using happy birthday to you and all
Yeah.
those. And I was wondering, why don't I have my own song to put on those pictures? And then it was like 15 seconds you could put up, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do a 15-second song. just just saying happy birthday or congratulations or anything. So I started doing that, and it developed into a whole song, and it was like it turned out in my head as I'm not sure if you're familiar with Schlager. I think it originates from Germany or Sweden, but we have Schlager Denmark as well. And it
What is
turned
it,
out,
John? What
yeah,
is Schlager?
Schlager, it's easygoing, sometimes
Oh, okay.
easy music,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
a lot of elderly people listen to that, maybe,
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Denmark. And it turned out to be a really cheesy production for this song, and I was thinking, I cannot release this as John, DJON, my artist. I cannot do that. I need another name for that. So I invented John OK. Uh, it, it's a bit like John is okay, but in Danish, and put together John OK. So I did that, and I did another one in the same style, and I was contacted by what's it called, national radio. Um, they wanted to interview me, and I said, "How do you do that?" He said, "Oh, we play three of your songs and speak in between." I said, "Oh, I've got two songs only," so I had to write another one just to get to that interview. So I did that,
That's brilliant.
and today I have done like eight. And last year I had my first live performance as John OK, meeting some fans and actually
Wow,
finding out that
John,
people were listening
brilliant.
to my music and knew my music from the radio and the national TV as well. So that's how John OK came up. And right after lockdown, I think um, I talked to my best friend Christian. Um, I played with him since school, and we always liked the 80s and the 80s stuff, the 80s music, the 80s sound. So we decided to make some original music, um, um, but doing it in the style of 80s bands. So original music sounding like Toto, Cool and the Gang,
Love Toto.
Pet Shop Boys, you know.
Yeah.
So that became Dusty Jones because well, Christian's last name is Støvring. Støv in Danish is dust. So it became
Oh,
Dusty, John, Jones, yeah. So
I
that's the
love
name
that story.
from that. So, and we have been doing like eight releases now, I think. Yeah, it's around that. So,
Wow, because I love 80s music, and actually, um, when one of my first jobs was on a pop magazine called Smash Hits, which doesn't
ooh,
exist now. But
what's
the
that?
editor that I kind of crossed over with that was there just before me was Neil Tennant,
Mm.
who was not widely known at the time, but just you mentioning Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys now. I
He,
mean, it's just
yes, he played
incredible to
in
think
some other
about this
band.
longevity. Yeah, yeah. Um, so, but he left being the editor of Smash Hits to basically go and be Pet Shop Boys, and but it was such an exciting time, and I have a real love for all things 80s. So I think I need to listen to a bit more of Dusty Jones as well.
Yes, you do.
So
Everyone should.
yeah, everybody out there, you need to go and listen to Dusty Jones. So
Yes, but it was a fabulous time back then because
yeah,
when you bought a new keyboard, it just had a special sound. When you buy a keyboard today, it's made up of all kinds of sounds. But back then, when you bought a special keyboard, it had the special sounds. So
yeah,
today, when you
yeah,
listen to 80s music, it's like, oh, it's a DX7, yeah. Oh, it's a Jupiter 8. Okay. Today, you cannot the modern music. You cannot hear where it's from. It could be sampled from
very
some
true.
old keyboard. It could be yeah, anything. But back then,
Yeah,
you knew when you had a DX7, you had it sound like that.
yeah, you knew
That was
where
great.
you were.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah, it's
great.
so interesting. So you've
And
done
the
a
same
lot
with drum
over the
machine.
years. I'm just interested to just go back to something you said as well about, when you met your fans, what was
Mhm.
that like? Because, did you imagine what it was going to be like? Was the reality the same? What was your experience of that?
It was really special because when I started the Jonah OK project, I was just in my studio here at home all the time, the whole uh, every day, all day. So and I've posted my music. I had it on national radio, national TV, but I never got to meet anyone until I had this chance to do this live performance. And it was like people were like, "Oh, you're gonna play that song, aren't you?" I said, "How do you know that? Do you know that song?
I
Really?"
love that.
Ah!
Yeah.
It was great, and it was and that particular day was older people, uh, and older people are like really frank, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. They just say what they mean. They don't hold things back. So it was like, they told me how much they liked it, and they voted for me on the programs, and it's
Oh, that's so nice.
so that was
It's
really
so
great.
important, isn't it, to try and build that
Yeah.
relationship with people like,
Yes, and also
um,
my colleagues as well, who went to that same the same program that we had, the performance, and they knew my songs as well. It was like, okay, you're supposed to be my competitors in some way,
yeah,
but they, oh, I love your song, oh, I love that song. Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
God, that's so great.
that's
So
perfect.
it's just perfect. And I know that you've got a newsletter as well, haven't you? You're very organized like that. So it is
That's
this
right.
thing about building a fan base that a lot of people kind of miss because they think just going on Instagram is kind of just enough and a bit of social
It's
media, but
not.
actually, it's really not. It's shock horror, guys.
Ah!
But this
No,
thing about, creating a set of kind of super fans of who you're really connected with, who you're giving exclusive content to, who you could, you're really creating these very kind of friend relationships with. It's super important to have
and
that
I'm
because
feeling the
that, like you
beginning of
say,
that.
yeah, and you get the feedback as well. So, which is so great. So, yeah, I really love that you're doing all that, John. So, moving on to your release today, because I'd love everybody to hear about that. Tell us about it, um, because I know it's a very important track for you, State of the Nation. I'd love to hear about it from you.
Uh, it's a bit. It's actually not my song. It's the first time I do a cover version of anything. Uh, Unless it's back in the days when I was playing live in the bands. Uh, we all always did cover music, but the ones I've been releasing so far has been my own projects. But this one is like an old favorite from the 80s, 84 to be exact.
84,
And
okay.
I've had it on my playlist, of course, since it's one of my uh, the songs I best like from back then. And I was thinking, I was listening to it someday. I was like, the subject is it still matters today because it's about war and sending people to war. So I was thinking, since it turns 40 this year, and
Yeah.
that the subject still matters, it's I think, why don't I make a cover of it? Because I think it's the original. It's really poppy, kind of happy song, and I really didn't feel that. I felt I could do a version somewhat different, because if I had done a version just like that, just a copy one to one, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. No, I was sure I wouldn't do that. It would make no sense, I think. But
Yeah.
giving something else to the track would be something new, uh, that that I could relate to. So I did that, um, and yeah, that's
So
that's
it's
why.
your vocals, isn't it, on this track?
Yeah.
Which is fantastic because I don't often hear you singing yourself on a track. I don't think. Is it this a rare occurrence or
No, I sing all my tracks myself,
all
unless
of
it's
them?
Christian on one of the Dusty Jones. I think he sings on two or three of them. And we had a singer, a female singer on one of our Dusty Jones songs as well. Lena was on Den Danske Glød. It was a football song. You could say it's not a
Oh,
football
the
song, but it
football
sounds just
song.
like it.
Yes.
It was made
Ah,
for the World Cup in Where is that? In the Middle East. Where
God,
was
time
it?
is flying so fast now. I can't remember, but I remember that was one of the first things I think I heard, and I was like, "This is John. I love this. I'm really not that into football, but the song was so catchy, and I
Yeah,
was
but the
trying to
thing
sing
is,
it."
we have it on the official playlist from the Danish football team.
That's amazing. I didn't know it managed to get on that. That's brilliant. I
Yeah,
sent it to my Danish friends. They loved it.
great. I love that. But actually, we never mentioned football. Um, we never mention any sport, and we never mention any names or team names or anything. So it can actually be
Yeah,
used for any Danish, what's it called? Let's
yeah.
national team.
Any national team, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
they
can
can all
actually be.
get
I've
involved.
been trying to pitch it to the handball. Um, you know, we have very good handball teams in Denmark, and I haven't quite gotten through yet, but I hope I will.
Well, I hope to see it up there, and I hope our viewers as well are,
Yeah.
interested in supporting you on your handball endeavors to try and get it in there. We have to get a petition or something going, John. What I love about you is that you also think very creatively about, you know, trying to make associations to get your music more out there. And I think that's fantastic. Is there anything else you
Thank you.
would like to say about the new track today?
Just have a listen, or a lot of listens, please,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, and see if you anything resonates with you. So it's not my track, so yeah. I don't think I have
Yeah.
anything else to say other than I love the track. So I felt that I have given something to the track. Yeah,
Well, I would encourage everyone to go out there and listen because I know this is also something that you are very good at is supporting everybody else with their music as well, and we're all trying to support each other. But you do your Monday motivations as well.
oh, my Monday
So
mentions. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's great. Getting involved in supporting each other. Um,
Yes,
and
I randomly mentioned some of my Facebook friends and linking to their music and tell a little about them. I don't know everyone very well, but I hope I will at some point. And I think there's great music out there, and I do Spotify playlists as well. Um, um, I just started a new one, Friends of 2024, and I have made Friends of 2023 and 2, and I also have Friends of Xmas. So it's
oh, great.
yeah, it's kind of compilations of my Facebook friends' music. So I like to listen to it, and I think that listening to those playlists are they are very different songs, very different styles. So I actually get to listen to a lot of different tracks just listening to one playlist.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's also a great thing to do, isn't it? Listen to songs that you normally wouldn't listen
Yeah,
to keep yourself musically fresh and creatively alive.
that's what
I would
music is.
say, yeah, if anybody wants to get on Monday motivations or, um, you know, uh, wants to be included on anything that John's doing, I suggest you make friends with him and play the song today.
I can see
That's
Westy on bass is asking if
He's
there's a
saying, "Is
link.
there a link to John's?" Hi,
Uh,
Westy. Lovely to have you here today. Is there a link to John's new song?
I'll just
It's
write it
certainly.
in the chat. Just a moment.
He's going to post one now.
Or it's on your
Spotify.
yeah, or other streaming services. I think it would be this. Oh, the comment has failed to post to live chat.
Oh, don't worry. We'll send you it, Wednesday. We'll post it on the group for you for everyone to have a listen to. Yeah.
Just
We'll get it out there. So where can everyone, just so that everybody knows, where can they find your music, under which names, and where, John?
you can find it under these names. Let's see, John, okay, and Dusty Jones. Oh, you can see it on my. There's a link to every song in my website, at my website, but I'm not sure.
We'll post the links on Facebook afterwards for everyone.
jrproductions.dk. There's
jrproductions.dk for anybody out there who wants to find John's music. And
so,
is there any advice you've got for anybody out there
that
might be struggling? Any advice for anybody out there that might be struggling, or anything that you would like to say about this year for yourself?
Yeah, be persistent and just keep going. Do what you love, and let's see. Yeah, be persistent in doing what you do. Don't stop because someone may not like what you do. If you have a goal, just set a really high goal. Maybe a goal that you don't really know how to obtain, but just when you have a goal like that, you automatically choose what you need to choose. When you have some things in mind, and you just think about that highest goal, and like, no, it's not leading me there, or yeah, I'm sure it leads me there. So do that for yourself.
I think that's really great advice. One thing I was thinking about yesterday also was consistency. It about doing those things little and often, but just to keep doing them. Like you're talking about being persistent, be consistent and persistent. We've got one each, haven't we, in there?
Yeah,
So
but sorry,
that's
that wasn't
really
why
great.
I was just looking at West Disc. Cool,
It
I'm off
says
to listen to some
cool.
Schlager music. Please do that, Westy, and I'll see you in Denmark soon.
Oh gosh, as well, yes, because Wesley's got the George Michael tribute band,
Yeah.
which I know you've been. Have you been to see it already? And now you're going
Yeah,
to see it again in Denmark.
absolutely seeing
Brilliant.
again.
When is that? Is it this month?
No, I think it's in October. The one I was
Okay.
looking at, or maybe in June. I'm not sure. GeorgeMichael.show will show you that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well,
Really great.
brilliant. So it's been great to talk to you today, John. And
You
it's
too.
been fascinating to find out more about your journey, how you started on the drums, all your collaborations, Dusty Jones, where your names come from. There's so much stuff I didn't know. The new release today, which I'm gonna post up the links for and go and listen to it again. And I just love how you're embracing this journey, and just getting on with it and meeting as many people and having fun along the way as well.
That's important.
So
Very important.
yeah. So it's been really great, and thanks everybody for coming to support John today. And go and play his track.
Yes, do that. Even if you
Take
don't,
care,
even
everybody.
if you don't get what I sing about in Danish, blah, 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 just listen to it. It was a good song.
Yeah, just listen anyway. It's a great song. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye from me. Bye from John.